again for another weekly tip. And the thing I wanted to go over this week was handling sort of objections and how to really control the sales cycle in your favor. We had a scenario come up this past week with one of our business development people, Jake, who you've seen on the video, and it brought up an interesting conversation that I just felt it would be good for the actual weekly tip. So the thing I wanted to go over was essentially what to avoid when you're prospecting a prospective client or a customer. There's a couple things that you want to avoid aggressively, and one is vias. And when I say vias, I mean if you're dealing with somebody in the old sales thing everybody knows in terms of dealing with a decision maker, but if you're actually dealing with somebody who is not ultimately going to sign the check or sign the contract or sign the proposal, and they are essentially a via on the cycle, so you're having them sell for you to the person that you need to sell to, my advice is that you set up a phone call with the via, with the person you're dealing with and the final decision maker, and really control the cycle. So the scenario that happened here was that Jake had a situation where the via was going to be taking it and setting up a meeting with the actual decision maker, and I actually had him get back on the telephone and ask the person who was the via in this case to allow myself and Jake to be on the telephone call, so we could just handle any objections or anything like that that actually came up, because inevitably in any sales cycle, objections, questions, it's not only natural. They're going to come up, and what's going to happen is the via is not going to know, and he's going to have to bring it back to us, and then we're going to have to go from there to add time into the equation, which really wastes their time and our time. So don't deal with vias. Number two, avoid multi-topic meetings. If the person says, we're going to be taking this to a meeting and addressing this, and a bunch of different topics are going to be coming up, and this is one of the topics, avoid that. See if you can separate out the actual topic and say, look, let's have a 15-minute or 10-minute phone call. We'll discuss it right then and there. We'll go over it. It'll save you time. It'll save me time. We can stay focused and stay on the point, and then close the deal from there. But if they say it's going to be brought up in a multi-topic meeting, focus on taking it out at the knees and essentially, avoiding that as much as possible. And number three is next week. People say next week we're going to get to this, or next month we're going to get to this, or next week. And the truth of the matter is there is no next week. Next week never comes. If you're going to make a good deal or implement a good idea or anything along those lines, do it today. Make a good deal today, or make a good put a good idea into motion today. There's no next week. Always focus on concluding the cycle today, and you'll find that your stats will really increase. So anyway, those three things: avoiding vias, avoiding multi-topic meetings, and making next week happen this week, or not allowing next week's to happen. Those three things will help control your sales cycles and ensure that you're actually going to close more deals and just ensure more sales for the company overall. So that's the sales tip for the week. Hope it helps, and of course, get in touch with any questions or email anytime. Okay, thanks very much.